Welcome to So That Reminds Me, Reminder Publishing's bi-weekly podcast discussing Western Mass news. My name is Dennis Hackett.
And I'm Tyler Garnett.
And we'll be your host for today's episode. This week's episode is all about county fairs, and Chris Mazza chats with Executive Director Taylor Haas from the 3 County Fair, while Tyler and I sit down with Westfield Fair President Sheila Phelon and Secretary Maureen Freniere. So Tyler, it's been a while since we've been on the mics together. What have you been up to recently?
Nothing too exciting. Just moved into a new apartment, so that was a lot. It was very hot. We're up on the 3rd floor now. That was my exercise probably for the whole month of July, because that was an exhausting process. But finally settled in, so happy to be there in a new space. And just softball season is ending for me. I think we have a couple more games left. But just enjoying the summer that seems to be flying by.
I know. I cannot believe. So we're a little bit of context. We're recording this episode a week early, given vacations and stuff that are happening. But right now we're at the end of July, which is crazy to think about. It feels like just yesterday I was on my trip up to Maine at the beginning of the month.
I know. It seems like the 4th of July did just happen.
Yeah, this summer's been wild, to be honest, with how fast it's gone and how hot it's been too. Right now, we're sitting on one of the hotter days where it's going to be like 95 today, but we're both looking forward to this weekend where it's going to be a bit cooler, hopefully.
Yeah. What about you, Dennis? How's everything going with you?
It's been good. I've been playing a lot of disc golf, seen a lot of movies. You might have seen it in one of the recent editions. I did do a review of Superman. I think I'm going to do one for Fantastic Four as well. But the Too Long Didn't Read, both movies are good. I like Superman a little more, but both are good times. That's pretty much what I've been up to. It's been a quiet summer for the most part.
Yeah, but really has been. I feel like it's either been raining or just 100 degrees where there's nothing you can do. Yeah,
that's why I'm looking forward to this weekend, very much so, because Saturday and Sunday are both low 70s to 80 pretty much, and it's going to be sunny. So great days to hang out by the pool and just chill out.
That is perfect weather.
But yeah. All right, well, that's what we've been up to, but we're going to get into our interviews here after a quick break.
We get it. You're busy, but you want to be connected to your local community. If you're not reading The Reminder, Western Mass's free weekly newspaper, you're missing out on the heartbeat of your town. Stay in the loop with all the latest buzz, from local stories to community updates and exciting events. It's all in The Reminder. Just log on to thereminder.com and dive into the hometown news you love. To subscribe to receive The Reminder at your home, call 413-788-1316. Don't miss a beat. Your town, your stories, your community for over 60 years. The Reminder. We are hometown news.
Every month, Reminder Publishing's Go Local magazine features the best Western Mass and Northern Connecticut businesses. With articles on new storefronts, coffee shops, restaurants, and more, Go Local magazine is your resource to find the best businesses to frequent in the area. Go Local also features original recipes, how-to pages on festive crafts, a listing of places to go, and experiences to enjoy over the course of the month, and so much more. Pick up Go Local magazine at hundreds of businesses, banks, gas stations, and restaurants all over Western Mass and Northern Connecticut. Or check out Go Local magazine at thereminder.com.
We're here with Westfield Fair President Sheila Phelon and Fair Secretary Maureen Freniere. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course. So we wanted to give you guys first the opportunity to just tell us a little bit about yourselves, how long you've been involved with the fair.
A long time. I've probably been going to the Westfield Fair since the day after I was born. My father pulled bulls, and then I married someone who showed at the fair, so it's been over 60 years.
So I grew up at the fair, same. I've been going there my whole life. My parents are both very actively involved and still are today. So I'm actually sitting next to my mother right now. It's a family affair for sure.
Awesome. That's very nice.
Yeah, I noticed when we were looking at the list of the whoever works on the parade, there was a lot of Frenieres and Phelons on there.
Yes.
So. All right, and then I guess can you tell us a bit about the Westfield Fair, how long it's been happening and how has it kind of evolved over the years?
This is the 97th year of the Westfield Fair. It started on the green in the center of Westfield and then progressively moved out to the Russellville Road where it's located now. It has started with a sheep show, I believe, and then they had some cattle that came and showed, and we still carry on those traditions. We have a sheep show, a cattle show. We have a horse and ox pull. It's an old-time fair.
So definitely more of a traditional kind of agricultural fair.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think we really try to focus on that agriculture, family, community event. We have an admission to get in the gate, but once you get in the gate, we try to have as many free things offered to families as we can. We come from a family atmosphere, but at the same time, understand that once they get there, they really just want to have fun. So we have a lot of events that we try to focus or get sponsored by a lot of local community partners. Things like a free bike raffle, any of our track events, which we would consider kind of our major events that bring in the customers, are our truck pulls, our rodeo, and those things. Like once you get in the gate, you can just attend them for free.
Okay.
And I know the fair takes place from Friday, August 15th to Sunday, August 17th. How many people do you think attend each year over the 3-day event?
We're guessing between 5,000 and 7,000.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And then what are some things new this year at the fair?
Well, you book them.
Yeah. So one of the big things that I think we tried to switch up a little bit this year was our bands. Mm-hmm. So our bands are sponsored by Westfield Bank. So it's nice to kind of have that element of Westfield Bank does a lot in our community already. So we actually got a lot of interest from other people that attend a lot of their things like Pumpkin Fest or the fireworks. So that we've had a lot of people that have reached out over the last few years, and getting partners like a sponsor like that just connects us to other community partners. So this year we have 4 new bands. That'll be basically, we start Friday night. They run for a few hours Friday night, all day Saturday on and off the stage, and then Sunday during the day. And then this year our rodeo is going to be having some new events. So we tried to do some things that people could participate in. So we have a calf scramble. They're going to do a little bit more with kind of getting the audience involved with things like maybe a cowboy costume contest. So some stuff like that the kids and adults can have fun with. And then with our truck pullers, they expanded on classes this year. That association has done a lot in the region to try to expand participation across multiple events. So Cummington Fair, Littleville Fair, Westfield Fair, if they can get the same participants to come to each fair, it expands the event for everybody. So that association has done a lot to collaborate with a lot of people that come to all of those, and that way they can do bigger payouts, they can do bigger support for the people who are coming to participate and compete in the event. And that's just benefited us because there's more people on the track for Friday night, which is our opening night. So.
And you mentioned the calf scramble. What does that kind of entail?
So the calf scramble is where you get a few people that come out of the audience, and they just try to either pull a tag off a calf, and a tag, I mean just like, a piece of, maybe a piece of ribbon that's, taped on them, or they can try to catch them. So obviously, we all come from an agricultural background for a lot of us that are at the fairs. So for us to go out there and throw a halter on them, it's not, it doesn't sound that difficult, but it really is. But it's just fun to watch. The kid, we had a few of our fair members that got out there last year, and they face planted in the dirt with everybody else. So.
Yeah. Might have to clear our schedule then. This sounds like a lot of fun to either watch or participate.
On the website.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to check those out for sure. And, I know you mentioned the collaboration with a bunch of other fairs in the area, but, what do you think is most unique about the Westfield Fair?
I think it's very family-oriented. It's been around for a long time, as the other fairs have. But I think we work in conjunction with the other fairs also. It's more of a big group of us that get together. I mean, we don't pit each other against each other or anything like that. I think when we have an issue, we all work together to solve that issue. And it's Westfield, Littleville, Blandford, Cummington, and it's a good group of people that work together well.
Yeah, and I think we benefit from running off of similar events, and just being able to advertise that atmosphere, that family friendly. For Westfield, I think we're unique because we're so close to our surrounding towns. Southampton, East Hampton, they don't have a fair. So it's like we're able to pull from that crowd as well. And a lot of our other local fairs, our Hampden County fairs, are a little higher into the hill town, so a little bit more of a drive for people. I think we expanded our food options a little bit. So we have some local partners, and then we have some traveling concessionaires that do a lot of our larger fairs in the area as well. So I think we try to challenge them to offer something that you wouldn't get at, a local event or you wouldn't get downtown. Sure. So I think that's something we do a little bit different. Our fair board has put together some events like free kid events where they can get on a toy, what do they call those?
Tractors. It's a metal tractor that kids use, but they put weights on it. And they have to pull it distances.
Oh, okay.
So like a kiddie tractor pull. That's the word I'm looking for.
And they get ribbons for it. They wear them proudly all day long.
Yeah.
Little friendly competition between all the neighborhood kids that now have kids. So, and then I think the other one, we do kind of a youth event that's like a Power Wheels race, which is very unique. I think we're the only ones that do it. And that really brings in like your backyard families. It's everybody and their brother has a Power Wheel these days, and it's just, you can come out, you can modify it if you want, but you can come out with your Power Wheels, and the kids put a helmet on, and they race, and the guys who run it are, they have a lot of fun with it. Last year they had some local sponsors that actually branded the Power Wheels.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was really cool as well.
So what exactly is a Power Wheel for somebody who doesn't know?
Yeah, so Power Wheel is like a battery operated kid's car.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so like a Gator or a little quad.
Oh, yeah.
So they're usually 12 volt or 24 volt. But, they've learned that you can modify them with like a Milwaukee battery. So we do have a modified class, because we had the first couple of years somebody showed up and they just took off. So, but yeah, we start anywhere. I think 2's the youngest they can go.
Oh, wow.
And then basically up to like, it's more of a weight limit. We try not to do a size limit, but the kids can they bring their own. We don't provide any. Usually we have a kids Power Wheel section that they can go just play in for the weekend, all weekend long. But if they want to race, they've got to bring their own. They've got to wear a helmet, and they get in classes, and we run 3 or 4 heats depending on what shows up. I mean, last year on Sunday it poured. Poured, and there was still 30 of them that showed up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
awesome.
So it's really fun.
But we also have Power Wheels that were donated to the fair, and I believe there's 8 of them, and they have them in what we call our red barn at the fair, and they have an obstacle course, and kids just stand in line, get in and run them for as long as they want. It's free.
Nice. And I know you'd mentioned a lot of the stuff is free. I did want to ask about food. Is that something people will have to pay for? Yeah. Okay.
Yep, and we try to challenge our concessionaires to be competitive. It's not the biggest fair in the region, but we want them to be successful as well. But there's options, and then our fair food booth is very cognizant of being just that option that anybody can grab, a cheeseburger, a hot dog. There's a kid's meal, which is like, I think, a grilled cheese and a bag of chips for $5. So, or something like, it's right around there, but it's just more cost effective. So.
Gotcha. And, you guys have mentioned you've been to the fair for many, many years. So this is more of a personal question, but, what is something that you guys both enjoy most about attending and now running the fair?
Seeing the same people over and over again. The horse draw and ox draw is very special to me, and I love seeing the people coming in year after year. They yell at the gate when they come through, because I'm also at the gate collecting money, and they go, "Can we get our parking spot back? Can I park?" It's a unique group of people that just follow them around from fair to fair, and I just love seeing them every year.
Yeah, I really think it's all about the people for me too. I mean, that's kind of what keeps us coming back every year. It's the volunteers all year long that work together to get the event up and ready and keep the grounds going. And it's, like Sheila said, like when we get there, it's you're walking through the midway and you're just seeing all your friends. You're seeing friends from high school you haven't seen in years. Everybody's just kind of there. They're there with their kids. I'm excited. This is the first year that my son's old enough to maybe show a cow. So it's like, there's some things like that. It's all about getting them in the participation too, and getting them excited about it for the future.
I have 9 grandchildren showing at the fair this year. Very proud.
That is awesome.
And then kind of going off of that, what is kind of like the most challenging aspect of organizing it each year?
Money.
Yeah.
Fundraising, for sure.
Yep.
It's, we all try to keep a cushion fund, but it's not always there. And, we're fortunate to be the recipient of some local grants. But those grants started at $10,000 a few years ago, and now they're $2,500, $3,000. So, you try to depend on those partnerships, but you also can't.
Yeah.
So we adjust on our gate prices a little bit. We know that that's the only way that we can guarantee a fund coming in. There's a lot of infrastructure improvements and upgrades that have to happen annually. This year we were challenged with our grounds maintenance person retiring, and all of a sudden we looked at each other and said, we don't have a lawnmower. It's stuff like that. So it's, there's little things like that. There's electrical requirements that you have to meet with the city of Westfield that you have to make sure you're up to code on, and things like our Fair Kitchen is working through a hood installation. So to be able to cook in there, you have to meet those fire department requirements. And that all costs money. So I think we try to keep a cushion fund there, but it's not always there. Yeah.
The poor woman last year at the horse draw got drenched because there was a hole right over her.
Of course.
So we do some fundraising with sponsorship, and we have some really great local people that support in different ways, whether it's actual equipment or whether it's materials. We've gotten some really great donations with things like dirt and hard pack, things like that go a long way on the property, lumber, just stuff like that does help support those projects. But at the end of the day, everybody needs cash to operate, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a big thing for us. We started fundraising through sponsorships about 5 years ago, and that's really expanded our portfolio. But at the same time, there's always room. Mm-hmm. We're always accepting sponsors.
Gotcha.
And we are a 501c3. So years ago, the state used to fund a lot of the fairs in the area, but the state ran out of money too. Mm-hmm. And when that hit all the fairs, we had to come up with unique ideas of how to raise money. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it gets very creative and very hard. Mm-hmm.
So anywhere else you go in New England, there's state funding that supports a premium. So if you come to compete in any agricultural event, whether it's in the craft building, whether it's sewing, or whether it's cattle, oxen, the state has an allotment that gets paid towards those premiums. Massachusetts no longer has that. So if we want to pay our attendees to be able to come and participate in the fair and showcase that agricultural element, we have to come up with the funds to do that. Mm-hmm. We give almost $15,000 out in funding every year for premiums.
And I did bring a fair book which has the premiums in it. And the one thing I did want to say is that you don't have to be a member of the fair to enter at the fair. Mm-hmm. So anybody could come Thursday before the fair at night, anytime on Friday before noon. Bring what you have and we'll enter it at the fair. You get a ribbon. Yeah. You might make some money too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Photography, you can do baking,
apple pie, sewing, quilting. Bring your collections. The kids have Lego collections or Power Wheels or whatever, little tiny things, Matchbox. We'll put them in on display and they'll get a ribbon.
That's awesome. Yeah. And if you need any judges for any of the apple pie eating contests,
absolutely.
I'll clear my schedule. But
not as easy as you think.
I'm sure. Once you get past maybe 10, I don't know how many people participate, but I think that's all the questions we had.
I still had a couple more.
Oh, I was going to throw one in, but if you had a couple
more,
go
so
for it.
I guess one of the things you both have really talked about is the kind of community aspect. Like, how important is that to kind of keep the fair going each year?
I think it's what we strive on and live for. We have a scholarship in here in memory of my husband and her father. And, my sister-in-law passed away. So, we have a memorial in here for her. This is a family organization. And without this family, I don't think we'd survive.
And I think the word is really just invaluable. The people who really step up when we need it are always there. And sometimes we don't even know where they come from. So, we have a lot of support, but, it's everything from the scholarships to the awards that these kids get. We have a lot of people, sometimes you have the funding, but then you need somebody to actually go and make the awards. We try to be very unique in what we do. We have a local welding gentleman who does all of our trophies. He puts them together for us so that they're unique for our lawnmower races and things like that. And I think the big thing is too, just kind of those community partnerships. We learned a long time ago that in order to be successful in your community, you've got to support other sides of it. So during any events that take place in Westfield, we try to participate. The 5K road race, we try to bring a few animals, a few tractors down, advertise our dates, but also just be there to kind of like connect that part of the community. We participate in the Pumpkin Fest. We've been to the air show at Barnes Airport. Anything like that. Or if somebody calls us and, we have a local petting zoo that we work with. If they're looking for somebody to do a birthday party, we're able to give her name out. So, and it's really just kind of just building up those relationships. All of these partners that we do business with, they have year-round businesses. So when somebody asks us for an excavating company, or, you take those 30 people that are involved in the fair, or 40 people, and you've got all those names at the top of your tongue. So you're able to kind of advertise for them as well.
Yeah. Tyler, do you have anything else?
No, I was just looking at more of the events. You would talk about the Power Wheel race. I see all the pictures now. I see the hay bale toss and the teeter-totter as well as some other events to definitely check out.
There's lines for those things. Yeah. Miles long, and some people just keep circling until they can get it.
No, I'm sure, but yeah, unless you had anything else.
Is ticket pricing, how much does it cost to get in? And
this year it went up to $15.
Okay.
Seniors are $13, and we do give a military discount of $2 off the $15. Under 12 is free.
Okay.
With an accompanying adult. I don't want people driving. We haven't had any trouble with that. We have a police force there that walks around, and I think we're very lucky in the fact that we don't have any issues at the fair, or if they are, they're minor, and they're taken care of immediately.
Great.
But
yeah.
The tractor, lawnmower tractors are hysterical. I mean, they're just really funny and loud.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yep. The rodeo people do too.
Yeah.
I mean, they pack the stands. We also have a beer garden this year.
Oh, okay.
So they've expanded that a little bit too.
Nice. Very nice. All right. I think that's all the questions we have. Is there anything else you two wanted to add about the fair or anything? I think we covered
Come to the fair.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you. We'll be at the gate and say hi.
Sounds good. And is the website the best place to check out for scheduled events and stuff?
Yep, check out the website. We run rain or shine, so if any of our events are canceled for any reason, we try to come up with some other stuff to put on. So, we've got places inside we can go, and all of our local crafters, vendors, food concessions, and kids-free events, those run no matter what. So,
and if you show up on a Saturday, I believe Friday and Saturday this year, they're giving away a girl's bike and a boy's bike on both days. Free. You just go into the exhibit hall and get a ticket.
All right.
Sounds good.
But you have to be there to get the bike. It's on at 4:00.
Makes sense. Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now we're going to jump into our next interview with Taylor Haas from the 3 County Fair. But before that, a few more short messages.
Looking to age well and live smart? Savvy After 55 is your guide. From fitness and nutrition to staying social and engaged, Savvy has the tips to help you thrive. It's also your go-to guide for caregiving, veteran services, job training, advocacy, and more. Savvy After 55, because that's what you are, and we're here to help.
Are you hearing wedding bells? Take a deep breath. Go Local Magazine has your back. Our wedding special section is your one-stop resource to the best in local photographers, caterers, florists, venues, and so much more. Get inspired by the couples who share their special day with us. Then check out the experts who created their perfect event. It's all here and all at your fingertips in Go Local. And are you an advertiser looking to reach local couples planning a wedding? Contact Sales Manager Scott Green at 525-6695 to be part of Go Local Weddings.
All right, well, this is Chris Mazza, Executive Editor at Reminder Publishing, and I am talking right now with Taylor Haas, the Executive Director for the 3 County Fair. Thank you very much for joining me today, Taylor.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Chris. I'm really excited to be here.
So we are here to talk a little bit about the 3 County Fair, and really this is one of the longest running fairs that I can think of in the area. What is this, 208 years?
Yes, this is the 208th year of the Three County Fair. And believe it or not, it is the longest continuously running fair in the country, right here in everyone's backyard.
Wow, that's amazing. So, can you tell me a little bit about the history of the fair, how this all got started, and really, I'm sure that over 208 years, there's been quite the evolution of this fair that people come to year after year.
Yeah, sure. So the fair was started in 1818. So, kind of just after America became a country. I can't even imagine what the landscape here in the valley looked like at that time. But the fair was started in the spirit of agriculture. Going back 200 years, a fair was very much a celebration of harvest for farmers and those involved with livestock and agriculture in our area. So, some of these timeless traditions that come with a fair, showcasing vegetables and fruits and quilting and livestock, these are really rooted in the tradition and the spirit of what a fair is essentially. So back in 1818, some people from Northampton that were very involved with farming and agriculture said, we are going to make this a legitimate organization and dedicate one weekend of the year every year to celebrating agriculture in our area. So 208 years later, and many, many things have changed. Here we are today.
Now, so this year's fair starts Friday, August 29th and runs through September 1st. And looking at the schedule, what are, if you wouldn't mind, just telling me a little bit about some of the highlights of this year's schedule.
Absolutely. So, of course, we have our school bus demolition derbies. That's always a popular crowd favorite at the fair. We're actually adding an additional night of school bus demolition derbies on Sunday. So we'll have them 3 days of the fair. Friday night is enduro racing. So also a really great time. Beyond the demolition derbies, we have really built out our food truck offering. So I want everyone to feel like they've got a food truck festival within the fair, so that there's more than one reason to come down to the fair. Of course, we've got our midway, our carnival rides that are everyone's favorite as well, the Ferris wheel, and we've got our wall of death, which is the motorcycles riding around on a wall. And then we're bringing back the Axe Women of Maine for some shows this year as well. So they are incredible women that log roll on a pool, and then they compete against each other for the however a log woman would compete for a title, if you will. So really exciting. There's a lot of free entertainment at the fair, live music. You can walk around all day. There's stuff in every corner of these fairgrounds. And then beyond, our kind of regular entertainment, we're adding a couple new things this year. We're adding a pie eating contest on Saturday where we have selected pie eaters, if you will, and the first person to eat 3 blueberry pies the fastest will win. And this is actually going to benefit the Western Massachusetts Food Bank. So it's fun, it's going to be exciting to watch, and there's some real benefit behind it as well.
Now it really seems... Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Do you have more?
No, it's fine. we got a lot. So then on Sunday we have a mullet competition, which is also new, and really just looking to add some fun, creative activities to the fair. So you're not just here spending money or walking around from, show to show. There's just a lot to really take in at the fair this year. So it's very exciting.
I was going to say, actually, that the New England Mullet Showdown was one of the things I was looking on the list, and it really prompted, you really have a great blend, it seems, of some of the traditional agricultural fair mainstays that you'll find, but really blending that with some other really eclectic kind of offerings. So it seems like this is something that, when I talked about it evolving, this is really evolving into something where there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And I think when people think about a fair, it's kind of like this core memory or this like core tradition. Every summer the county fair comes, there's rides, there's food that you can only get at the fair. But I really want fairgoers and people in our area to think about this fair as like a celebration. This is the end of the summer. This is, yes, it's the tradition and the spirit of the fair and agriculture, but there's so much fun, and we're really looking to grow and expand the fair in different ways that engages members of our community, and really just brings about fun. That's what the fair is about. It's supposed to be fun. We want people to come here with your family, your friends, whoever it may be, and really just have a great time, because that's what it's about. I know on the downside of fairs, a lot of people think crowds and parking and lines and so on and so forth, but beyond all that, outside of the food court area, there's a lot going on that really just brings a lot of happiness to people. So I'm really honing in on that this year.
Now, for people who are interested in attending the fair, how can they get tickets, and how can they find out more information about what's going to happen, like the full list of events? We've talked about a couple of them, but there's a whole truckload of events that are going on. So where can people find this information?
Sure, absolutely. We have a website, 3countyfair.com. We're also active on Instagram and Facebook. And we do have a full schedule published on our website. You can also buy tickets online in advance or at the gate on the day of the fair. We do offer a 4-day pass for the price of 2 tickets, 2 days at the fair. So it's really the best way to enjoy the fair. You can come for dinner every day if you really wanted to. But the one really special thing about the 3 County Fair is that we don't charge for parking. Children 11 and under are free. Sunday is our Veterans Day, so we'd love veterans to come, and we'll let every veteran in for free at the fair. But we feel that it's very accessible to members of the community. Having that free parking, having so many options for fun at the fair where you don't necessarily have to buy something once you get in the gate.
Sure. And one of the things we've mentioned a few times, that word community, what is the buzz around this as you get closer to this event? I'd imagine that there's an excitement that builds throughout the community. And talk a little bit about that connection between the fair and Northampton and the surrounding community, and how that's grown over the years.
Sure. I really think it kind of goes back to the school bus demolition derby. We find different schools to come and paint a bus for the school bus demolition derbies. And that really kind of gets the kids involved with the fair and kind of taking ownership over, even if it's just this one bus of the fair. I think this is, like I keep saying, this is a place for celebration. This is a place for, we've made it this far in the year, and we're about to embark on a new school year, if you will. So it's really just a celebration of the community. So bringing these different schools in, and children get really excited to be a part of it. And then beyond that, to some of the livestock competitions as well. There is such a community in agriculture in our area, and it's not, it runs deep, right? So it's not just the people that are showing animals, it's their friends, their families, their neighbors that come and get involved with the fair. And then outside of, all of these normal traditions, anyone can go and enter something into the competitions at the fair. Everything is listed on our website. But things like, maybe you grow a really good tomato in your backyard and you wouldn't consider yourself a farmer, but you can go enter that tomato into the fair to be judged, and you can win some money. So it's really just a fun way to get involved with other people in your community, and come see us at the fair.
Now, each one of these fairs, there are a lot of similar kind of, well, I won't say similar, but there are agricultural fairs throughout New England and throughout Western Massachusetts at this time of year. And there's a unique element to each of them. What makes the three-county fair unique among the greater fair season? Yeah,
sure. So I really do think the fair's history is just so interesting. We are the oldest, longest running fair, so that's, really cool to still have this tradition ongoing each year. Then the fair itself has changed so much. We used to, for about 150 years, there was horse racing on the fairgrounds. Mm-hmm. That ended in the early 2000s, and that kind of left what a lot of community members feel like a deficit. So the horse racing brought a lot of people to the fairgrounds, and so many people loved the fair because of the horse racing, and that ended. So that really required our fair to kind of tap back into that traditional spirit. So we've got the carnival rides, we've got the food, we've got the agricultural events, but what really ties that all together is the people, and again, that word community, just bringing everyone here. So I do think that, what's special about the three-county fair is not just that it's the oldest fair ongoing in the country, but it's that kind of almost like a metaphor. Like, we've been through so much as a fair, and same with, members of our community and our history. Here we are now, and this is what we've all transformed from. So that's what I think is so special about the fair, beyond the school bus demolition derbies, which and the baby barnyard, which are the only ones in New England, by the way.
So I know that it can be tough to make this kind of decision, especially on the fly. But if someone were to ask you, what is your favorite part of this fair, what would you tell them?
Definitely the baby barnyard. I do love the school bus demolition derbies, don't get me wrong, but the baby barnyard is just really special. It's essentially a glorified petting zoo where families can go and learn about agriculture, not only in the Pioneer Valley, but oftentimes it's, a child's first interaction with a goat or a sheep or a pony or a pig or a duck, and they're all there in the baby barnyard, and the point is for it to just be another place where people can come and learn and be upfront with animals. So it's really special, and it's completely free, and that just goes back to the accessibility for other members in our community, just being able to come to the fair, get in the gate, and have a great time.
Well, that's a great point you bring up, where especially living now and more in an age where sometimes we're a little bit disconnected from, the agricultural side of things, where our resources are coming from, our food and, things like that. So, these kinds of fairs, I think, are really important in making sure we keep that connection, keep that understanding, and make sure that younger generations do understand how important this aspect of our lives is, even though if it's not something that all of us see in our daily lives.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I think especially in Western Massachusetts, we are so lucky to just take Maple Line Farm, for example. We can go to the store, we can buy Maple Line Farm milk, and we know exactly where it's from. It's right over the bridge in Hadley, and that is just so special. That is so unique to this area of Massachusetts, and a lot of the farmers that are involved with the fair obviously are in our community, so a lot of these things are showcased at the fair. A lot of the animals are from farms that, produce our dairy, our vegetables, the potatoes, anything we can pretty much find right here in our little river valley, which is really special, I think. And I think a lot of people do get disconnected from that and are not aware that it is so special, that it is, Maple Line Farm is right there across the bridge, and you can just go buy their milk and at the fair go see their cows here.
So it seems like it's a great opportunity to, like you've mentioned, also the word celebration a lot. So there's the educational aspect of it for our younger generations as well, and we're also celebrating that we have such great resources here in the Pioneer Valley in and of itself.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. It's it is a celebration, and I think if we can get the entire community just remembering that, that's the point of a fair. It's really here to showcase agriculture, hit on those traditions and be a great opportunity to create memories with your family and friends.
All right. Well, the three-county fair is taking place this year, August 29th to September 1st. You've already told us some of the ways that you can connect with the fair and where you can find tickets. But is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up today?
Yeah, sure. We're always looking for ways for people to get involved with the fair. We're obviously right here in Northampton. Anyone can reach out on Facebook, Instagram, or email us with any questions. But yeah, we're really just looking forward to seeing everyone at the fair, and we can't wait to have a good time with everyone.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the time today, Taylor.
Thank you so much, Chris. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
While we didn't speak with representatives from all of the fairs happening around the area, we did compile a list of upcoming fairs in addition to the three-county fair and Westfield fair. The Hardwick Community Fair will take place on August 16th and 17th. Cummington Fair will take place from August 21st to August 24th. The Blandford Fair is happening August 29th to September 1st, and Festa in Ludlow will be happening August 29th to September 1st.
And fair season doesn't end in August, as there's still a few more on the dock for September, including the Franklin County Fair, which is September 4th through the 7th, the Fort Town Fair in Somers, Connecticut, which is September 11th through the 14th, and then the Belchertown Fair, which runs September 19th through the 21st. That wraps another episode of So That Reminds Me. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back with another episode in a couple of weeks.
Go check out a fair.
Thanks for listening to So That Reminds Me, produced by Western Massachusetts news source Reminder Publishing. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, find the latest news at thereminder.com, and follow Reminder Publishing on Instagram at Reminder Publishing, on X at The Reminder MA, and on Facebook. Reminder Publishing, we are hometown news.